You cleaned your kitchen cabinets last week. Maybe you scrubbed them twice. And now you touch them again and your hand sticks a little. That film is back. If you think you did something wrong, you didn't. Almost everyone cleans cabinets the wrong way, including people who clean for a living, until someone shows them what's actually happening on that surface. I've been doing this work for over 20 years. My dad did it before me, and his dad before him. I've cleaned cabinets in restaurant kitchens where grease was thick enough to leave a handprint, and I've cleaned cabinets in homes where people swore they never cook. Same sticky film shows up in both places. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why that film keeps coming back, and then I'm going to show you how to get rid of it for good, not just for a week. Let's start with what you're actually dealing with, because most people think they're looking at dust or dirt. They're not. What you're looking at is a thin layer of grease that is bonded to the surface of your cabinet. It feels tacky, not dry. It picks up dust and lint like a magnet, and after a few days, that dust mixes into the grease and turns gray or brown. You wipe it off, it looks clean, and then a week later, sometimes less, it's back. Here's what people usually try first. They grab a wet rag, maybe some dish soap, and they wipe the cabinet doors down. It looks better right away. The surface looks shiny again. But within a few days, sometimes within 24 hours, that same tackiness comes back. So they try again, maybe with a stronger cleaner this time, an all-purpose spray. Sometimes vinegar, because someone online told them vinegar cleans everything. Same result. Clean for a day or two, then sticky again. This isn't a one-time problem either. I've talked to homeowners who've been fighting this exact cycle for years. They think their cabinets are just old, or cheap, or that the finish is failing. In most cases, none of that is true. The cabinets are fine, the cleaning method is the problem, and I'll explain exactly why in a minute. One more thing before I move on. This isn't only a stovetop-adjacent cabinet problem. Yes, the cabinets right above and beside your stove get hit the hardest, because that's where the grease is coming from directly. But I've cleaned sticky film off cabinets on the far side of the kitchen, cabinets that are nowhere near the cooking area. If your kitchen has this problem, it's usually a whole kitchen issue, not just a few doors near the stove. That tells you something important. It's not really about proximity to heat. It's about what's floating in the air of your kitchen every time you cook, and where that air eventually lands. So here's what's actually going on, and this is the part most cleaning videos skip completely. When you cook, especially anything with oil, butter, or fat, whether that's frying, sautéing, roasting, even boiling something with a little oil in the pan, tiny particles of that oil get released into the air. You can't always see it. It's not always visible smoke. It's a fine aerosol, oil suspended in air, and it travels. It rises with heat, it spreads with air currents in the room, and it lands on every surface in your kitchen, including your cabinets, your walls, your light fixtures, and yes, surfaces you'd never expect, like the tops of your fridge or the trim around your doorway. That oil doesn't just sit on top of the surface of your cabinet. Depending on the finish of your cabinet, whether it's painted wood, stained wood, laminate, or thermofoil, that oil starts to work its way into the microscopic texture of the finish. Even a glossy painted wood has texture at a microscopic level. Oil settles into that texture and starts to cure there, the same way oil cures on a cast iron pan, just much thinner and less controlled. Now, here's the part that explains why your cleaning isn't working. When you wipe that surface with just water or with a cleaner that isn't actually formulated to break down oil, you're not removing the grease, you're spreading it. You're taking a thin, even layer of grease and turning it into a thinner, still present layer of grease, plus whatever cleaning residue you just added on top of it. It looks better because you've evened it out and wiped away the surface dust that was sitting in it, but the oil is still there, chemically bonded to that surface. This is the biggest misunderstanding people have about grease. Grease and water don't mix. That's basic chemistry, but people forget it applies to cleaning. Water on its own cannot break down oil. It can push it around, it can dilute the surface dust sitting in it, but it cannot lift the oil off the surface and carry it away. You need something that can break the oil apart, or at minimum, surround it and lift it, and plain water does neither. This is also why vinegar disappoints so many people. Vinegar is acidic, and it's genuinely useful for mineral deposits, hard water spots, soap scum. But grease isn't a mineral problem. Vinegar has very limited grease-cutting ability. It can cut through a very light film, but on cabinets that have months or years of built-up cooking oil, vinegar barely touches it. People use vinegar, feel like they did something because of the smell and because the surface feels less tacky for a moment, and then the grease reasserts itself within a day because most of it was never removed in the first place. Dish soap does do better, and I'll admit that. Dish soap is designed to break down grease. That's literally its job on your plates. But here's the catch. On a plate, you're usually rinsing under running water afterward, which physically carries the loosened grease and soap away down the drain. On a cabinet, you're not rinsing under running water. You're wiping with a rag and then maybe going over it again with a slightly damp rag to rinse. That's not the same thing. A lot of the loosened grease mixed with soap residue just gets redistributed across the surface and left there to dry. Soap film left behind is actually sticky on its own, separate from the grease. So now you've got a mix of not fully removed grease and dried soap residue, and that combination feels tacky too. There's a second layer to this problem that almost nobody thinks about, and it's the reason this cycle repeats so fast. Even if you did a perfect deep clean and removed every trace of old grease, your kitchen is still producing more grease in the air every time you cook. If your exhaust fan isn't strong enough, isn't turned on, or isn't vented outside the house, that airborne oil has nowhere to go except back onto your surfaces. I've been in kitchens where the range hood fan was basically decorative, moving almost no air, or where it was vented back into the cabinet above it instead of outside the house. In those kitchens, no amount of cleaning holds for long, because the source of the problem is still active every single day. Cooking habits matter here too. Frying, searing, and high-heat cooking release far more airborne oil than boiling or steaming. If you fry regularly and don't run strong ventilation while you do it, you're going to see the sticky film return faster than someone who mostly bakes or cooks with lower heat. That's not a criticism, it's just physics. More airborne oil, more residue landing on your cabinets, faster buildup. So to summarize, the real reason this keeps happening: 1. Most people are using the wrong cleaning method, one that doesn't actually break down and remove oil, it just spreads it around. 2. The cabinet finish has microscopic texture that trapped, uncleaned oil can bond into. 3. The kitchen is still generating new airborne grease every time you cook, and if ventilation is weak, that grease keeps landing right back where you just cleaned. Fix the cleaning method, you solve the film that's already there. Fix the ventilation and habits, you slow down how fast it comes back. You need both. Now let's fix it. I'm going to walk you through the actual process I use, the same one that's worked in home kitchens and commercial kitchens both. This is going to take longer than a quick wipe down, but it's a one-time deep clean, not something you'll need to repeat every week if you follow the maintenance part at the end. Step 1. Pick the right cleaner. You need something formulated to break down grease, not just a general all-purpose spray, and definitely not plain water or vinegar on its own. A degreasing cleaner works by using surfactants, the same type of ingredient in dish soap, but usually in a stronger, more targeted formula, that surround oil molecules and lift them off the surface so they can be wiped away, instead of redistributed. You can buy a dedicated kitchen degreaser, or you can make an effective one at home using warm water and a few drops of dish soap, mixed strong, not the light mix you'd use for actual dishwashing. If you're dealing with heavy, months-old buildup, a stronger degreaser with a solvent base will cut through it faster and save you a lot of scrubbing. Just check that it's safe for your cabinet's finish. Painted and thermofoil cabinets can be sensitive to strong solvents, so test in a hidden spot first, like the inside edge of a door, before going over the whole kitchen. Step 2. Use the right tool, not just the right cleaner. This is where a lot of people go wrong even after picking a good cleaner. A dry paper towel or a rough scrub pad on a finished cabinet can scratch the surface, and scratches actually make this problem worse long-term because they create more texture for grease to hide in. Use a microfiber cloth. Microfiber has thousands of tiny fibers that physically grab onto grease and dirt rather than just pushing it around the way a cotton rag or paper towel does. For grooves, corners, and detailing on cabinet doors, an old soft toothbrush works well to get into the texture without scratching anything. Step 3. Apply the cleaner and let it sit. This step gets skipped constantly, and it's one of the most important ones. Spray or wipe on your degreaser and let it sit on the surface for roughly 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how heavy the buildup is. This dwell time matters because it gives the surfactants time to actually break the bond between the grease and the cabinet surface. If you spray and immediately wipe, you're only removing the top layer of loose dust, not the bonded grease underneath. Patience here saves you from having to scrub hard later. Step 4. Wipe in one consistent direction, following the direction of the wood grain if you have a stained or natural wood finish. This isn't just cosmetic. Wiping in random circles can push grease into grain lines instead of lifting it out. As you wipe, you'll notice the cloth picking up a grayish or brownish residue. That's the grease coming off. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes at this point. They keep wiping with the same dirty section of cloth, which just moves that grease to a new spot on the cabinet instead of removing it. Fold your cloth to a clean section frequently, and don't be afraid to grab a second or third cloth if the buildup is heavy. If your cloth isn't picking up visible residue anymore after multiple passes, that's your sign the grease is actually gone, not just relocated. Step 5. Rinse with clean water. This is the step that actually breaks the sticky cycle. This is, in my experience, the single most skipped step, and it's the reason people redo this whole process every week without understanding why. After you've degreased and wiped, go over the entire surface again with a clean, slightly damp microfiber cloth with plain water, no cleaner. This rinse pass removes the leftover soap or degreaser film. Remember what I said earlier, leftover cleaner residue is sticky on its own, separate from grease. If you skip this rinse step, you're finishing your clean by leaving a tacky film on purpose, and then you'll blame the cabinets or blame the cleaner, when really you just needed one more pass with clean water. Step 6. Dry the surface immediately. Don't let cabinets air dry after the rinse pass. Take a fresh, dry microfiber cloth and dry the surface completely. Moisture sitting on a cabinet finish, especially real wood, can cause its own problems over time, including warping at the edges or a cloudy look to the finish. Drying immediately also prevents any remaining minerals and tap water from drying into a hazy film on the surface, which is a separate issue from grease, but can look similar and confuse people into thinking their cleaning didn't work. Step 7. For heavy, long-neglected buildup, consider a 2-pass approach. If your cabinets haven't had a real degreasing in a year or more, 1 pass often isn't enough. Do the full process once, let the surface dry, then take a look. If you still see a slight film or the surface still feels the tiniest bit tacky, repeat the degreasing and rinse steps a second time. Heavy buildup is layered, almost like sediment, and it can take 2 full passes to get through all of it. After that second pass, most people are shocked at how different their cabinets feel, almost like a completely different material, because they're feeling the actual finish for the first time in years, instead of a layer of cured oil sitting on top of it. Now, the maintenance part, because this is what actually stops the cycle from repeating. A deep clean gets you back to 0, but if you don't change anything else, the film will build back up over the following weeks or months, just like it did before. Here's what actually keeps cabinets from getting sticky again. First, run your range hood or exhaust fan every single time you cook with oil, even for something that feels quick or minor. Turn it on before you start cooking, not after you notice smoke, and let it run for a few minutes after you're done to clear residual airborne grease out of the room. If your fan is weak, doesn't vent outside, or is just old and underpowered, it's genuinely worth upgrading. I've seen kitchens transform in terms of how fast grease builds up, simply because someone replaced a 15-year-old barely functioning fan with a real one that actually moves air outside the house. Second, do a quick wipe down of cabinets near your stove once a week, even if they don't look dirty yet. This isn't a full degreasing every time, just a fast pass with a slightly soapy microfiber cloth, followed by a clean water wipe. The same rinse principle from before, just on a smaller scale. This catches new grease before it has time to bond into the finish. Waiting until it's visibly sticky means you're always doing the harder, heavier version of this job instead of the easy maintenance version. Third, crack a window or use additional ventilation on days when you're frying or doing high heat cooking, especially if your exhaust fan is on the weaker side. Extra airflow helps carry more of that airborne oil out of the kitchen before it has a chance to settle anywhere. Fourth, if your cabinets are older and the finish has worn thin in spots, especially the ones right by the stove, understand that bare or worn finish absorbs grease faster and holds onto it harder than a fully intact sealed finish. If you're seeing repeated heavy buildup in the exact same spots, no matter how well you clean, that's often a sign the finish itself needs attention. Sometimes a fresh coat of the appropriate sealant or paint, not just a better cleaning routine. That's a separate project, but it's worth knowing so you're not blaming your cleaning method for something that's actually a finish issue. Follow this and the difference is real. You do the deep clean once properly with the degreaser, the dwell time, the rinse pass, and the dry pass. Then you maintain it weekly with something much lighter and faster. That combination is what actually breaks the cycle, instead of doing the same incomplete deep clean over and over and wondering why nothing changes. So that's the real reason your cabinets keep getting sticky, and that's exactly how to fix it for good, not just for a few days. If you try this deep clean process, especially that rinse step most people skip, let me know in the comments how much of a difference it made. I read every comment and I want to hear what's actually happening in your kitchen. I also want to know what your biggest cleaning frustration is right now, the one that keeps coming back no matter what you try. Tell me in the comments. I go through those regularly, and a lot of the videos on this channel started as answers to exactly that kind of comment. If you found this useful, subscribe, because I cover this kind of real, tested cleaning knowledge every week, the kind that actually explains why something works, instead of just telling you to buy a product and hope for the best. And if you're dealing with grease buildup on your cabinets, there's a good chance your range hood filter is in the same condition or worse. I've got a video breaking down exactly how to clean and maintain that filter so it keeps doing its job instead of clogging up and making this whole problem worse. Go watch that one next. It pairs directly with everything I just showed you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.